groundbreaking musical Hamilton opened on Broadway in 2015, and it changed the world.
Still playing on Broadway, the work by Lin-Manuel Miranda has spun off 3 touring U.S. companies, and one of those companies is staging Hamilton at the Overture Center through August 21st.
We had the opportunity to talk with the actors portraying Aaron Burr and George Washington.
What is so special about this show for you?
The main thing that's special is that I think that the company reflects the melting pot that is the United States. So we really have like this eclectic group of people that really, when you're in the audience, you can kind of see yourself represented up there in some capacity.
Part of the genius of Lin-Manuel Miranda, Paul, is that this show was such a cultural reset, as you were just saying. And it continues to generate so much enthusiasm and support. What does it feel like to you personally to be part of something that groundbreaking?
It fills me with humility, first of all. We were talking about our Midwest values, you know. We're very like, I'm just so happy to be here, you know how we are. And it feels like a responsibility. You can't go out there and do half anything with this show. It's a huge locomotive, like the old school locomotives with the smoke coming out that barrel through. You jump on the train and it goes. So you have to be ready. You have to give it 150% every night, and it's a big responsibility. So people just see us on stage, but we take care of ourselves from the moment we wake up throughout the day to get ready for that intense 3 hours.
The stamina that it requires is fascinating.
Yeah, you can't just roll out of bed and go do the show.
And that train has not slowed down since 2015. This show is as important and popular as ever.
I think there's, first of all, a craving just for good entertainment and good theater, right? There's that initial thing. You know, back in the 40s and 50s, the popular music was the music that was in the theaters and was all that. And this is one of those few shows that has come back and made a resurgence where you could hear this music on the radio.
That's number one. I think that's the number one answer. And the number two answer, for me anyway, is that I think Lin did something really tricky and canny. While you have turntables, you have corsets and big gowns, you have this crazy choreography, you have this, you know, incredible music. What he really did is tell a very Western story that we are all comfortable with. A hero, an anti-hero, a love interest, a possible second love interest, 3 buddies that travel along with you like Wizard of Oz, a father figure in George Washington. These are stories like Star Wars and, you know, the Westerns that we, as Americans, we sit and we go, I thought I was going to be confused by the rap, but I know this story. I know this story.
Yeah, and it crosses markets, because if you don't like musical theater, you somehow can click into the hip-hop. There's a little of something for everybody. And if you don't like that, there's the whole history aspect of this, where you can kind of click into that. And so if you don't enjoy one thing, you definitely enjoy another thing. And I think that marriage really is really magical.
Even if you feel like you know the basic American history story, it inspires you to learn so much more about it, to dig into it deeper. And the more you see it, the more you connect with it. You know what I mean?
And then that's one of the wonderful things about the show, is that it started lots of conversations, both about politics, race, music, theater. I mean, you can walk out and have and I think reasonable and civil conversations. You know, we've got everybody in there, and you know, people, and we're playing to 2,500 people at a time, 2,200 in this theater. But you know, we're getting a vast market of people from all different walks of life who believe lots of different things. So it's really cool to sit in one room together in a theater and just be for 3 hours kind of one mind, and be, you know, have that thought process.
Have the question
together.
Out there. Yeah, you say that the experience was great for you. It's 4 years in, and we're still in the rabbit hole. We still discover new things. You know, on the one hand, you're thrust back into 8th grade social studies class. He never told a lie. He chopped down a tree. You know, those basic things. But then you dig into Ron Chernow's other book, Washington, A Life. This guy is the walking encyclopedia of Burr, and you know, you can just dig and dig and dig, and information is so much more at our fingertips now that it's a revelatory experience for us too. So when people ask me, aren't you bored, or how do you keep, it never ends. And the different cities we go to, in Boston, people will tell me, oh, George Washington sat right there. Oh, George Washington.
Or Philadelphia.
He kicked the squirrel right there. Philadelphia, they own these. Virginia, they own Thomas Jefferson, and they let you know that.
Yeah,
and the museums there are incredible. So this experience never gets boring.
The show is incredible. Hope everybody gets a chance to see it while you're here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And Josh used to shop at your grandmother's bakery in Philadelphia.
From Philadelphia, Ambler, Pennsylvania. Yep. And they both have local connections. Family in Janesville and Edgerton and.
Yeah, and the more time you see this thing, the better it gets.
Yeah, it's an incredible production.
It's Hamilton at Overture Hall through August 21st. Go to overture.org for tickets. There's some available, but they're mostly the expensive ones, so just be aware of that.
It's worth it.
It is worth it.